we present June Whitfield as Miss Marple in Agatha Christie's At Bertram's Hotel.
When you reach my age, you find that much of your time is spent living in the past, recalling its pleasures. I stayed for the first time at Bertram's Hotel when I was a girl of 14, with my aunt and my Uncle Thomas when he was Canon of Ely, long ago. And I've never forgotten it. So when my nephew Raymond West, whose last book was really doing rather well, offered to give me 2 weeks' holiday as a special treat.
What about Bournemouth?
It's very kind of you, Raymond, but I don't think...
But it would be so good for you. Get you away from the dreary, claustrophobic life you lead in St. Mary Mead.
Well, yes, I would like a little visit somewhere for a change, but not perhaps Bournemouth.
Eastbourne? Torquay?
You know, Raymond, what I really would like...
Yes, Aunt Jane?
What I would really like would be to go to Bertram's Hotel.
Bertram's Hotel? Where's that?
It's in London, quite close to the park, not far from Berkeley Square. I used to stay there as a child.
You're sure it still exists?
That was what was so remarkable about Bertram's Hotel. It was still there, exactly the same. There were the big swing doors with a man who looked as if he might have been a field marshal standing outside them.
A fine afternoon, ma'am. Welcome to Bertram's Hotel. We'll see to your cases.
And once inside, it was as if you were in a vanished world. Time had gone back, and you were in Edwardian England. Even the receptionist, frumpy but respectable, with frizzled yellowish hair, looked as if she belonged to a different age.
You're in number 14, Miss Marple. It's at the back of the hotel, very quiet and peaceful. I'm sure you'll be happy there.
And when I came down to the lounge to take tea, it was as if nothing had changed since my childhood. A large and magnificent figure called Henry brought such delicate cucumber sandwiches and the kind of seed cake I thought had vanished forever. And as for the other guests, there were 2 canons and a rural dean, and over in the corner there was a bishop, no less. And surely... over by the window, that was Lady Selina Hazy, whom I'd not seen since I was a young girl, talking to a man who could only have been a retired army officer.
I suppose you've been at Newbury, Derek?
Yes, damn cold. I didn't wait for the last 2 races. Disastrous day.
Oh.
And what brought you up to town?
Well, the dentist. As I was up, I thought I might go and see a man in Harley Street about my arthritis.
You any good?
Well, I rather think he did.
Good.
He took me by the neck when I wasn't expecting it and wrung it like a chicken.
Must have hurt.
Oh, it feels all right now.
Oh, good.
I can look over my right shoulder for the first time in years, you see. Why, I do believe that's old Jane Marple sitting over there. Huh? I thought she died years ago.
Good afternoon, Lady Selina. Good afternoon, Colonel. Did you have a good day at Newbury?
Mr. Humphreys was often taken by the uninitiated to be Mr. Bertram in person, though who the actual Mr. Bertram was, or indeed if there ever had been a Mr. Bertram, was long lost in the mists of antiquity.
Tell me, Humphreys, how do all these old dears manage to come and stay in a place like this?
Well, the answer's quite simple, Colonel. They couldn't afford it in the normal run of things unless...
Unless you made special prices for them, is that it?
Yes, it amounts to that. But Bertram's couldn't just afford to be a charitable concern for genteel old ladies.
So what can you possibly get out of it?
It's a question of atmosphere. Strangers coming to this country, Americans mostly because they're the ones who have the money, have their rather curious ideas of what England is like. They don't want to find this country the same as their own. They expect London to be rather as it was in the time of Henry James. And they want the people who stay here to be the kind of people they'd never come across anywhere else.
I see.
And so, with a little discretion about prices in particular cases, we're able to set the scene, as it were.
All the time the men had been talking, Selina had been regarding me attentively over her buttered muffins, and finally she came over and sat down beside me.
Jane? It is Jane Marple, isn't it?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?